For the recording. Thank you so much for making this time for yourself and joining me. Come meet me on your mat. I've got the music in a different spot today, so if it's hard to hear me, just throw it in the chat. I just feel like I'm usually competing with it, so I'm going to try this. We're going to meet in child's resting pose. But when you're in it, we're really reaching our hips back, so we're not relaxing too hard into this. So reach your hips back, reach, and then reach your hips forward. If you've got blocks, you might want to have blocks. Sorry, I'm so bad at giving cues for props. I don't think we'll use a strap today, so maybe just blocks if you've got them, and a sweater or a blanket nearby if you need it. So I'm just going to use a block here just so that I can turn my head, so my voice isn't too muffled. But we're really reaching the hands forward. Reach. And pulling the hips back. Your elbows are lifted up, off the mat. Your forehead can be in contact with the mat. You can roll it back and forth. Giving yourself a little forehead massage. Closing out the eyes. Just keeping them gently open if you prefer that. And just starting to slow the breath. Listening to the sound of your breath, implementing that Ujjayi ocean-like breath. So it's calm and steady and relaxed, but it's very purposeful. Now imagine a teacher coming up behind you and putting their hands on the backs of your ribs. And then breathe into their hands. Let your rib cage and the back body expand. Keep trying to deepen the inhales and lengthen the exhales. Every round of breath. Two more rounds here. Bring your focus now to your mind. And within your mind's eye, I'd like you to hone in on something or someone that you are grateful for. Picture that something or someone in as great of detail as possible. Visualizing them or it. Breathing your love into them or it. Holding on to that image as strongly as you can. And with the next exhale, letting it go. I'm just moving my block here from our child's pose. We're just going to tiptoe the fingers off the right side of the corner, right side of the mat. So we're getting a nice stretch along the left side of the body. Keep pulling the left hip back and reach out, especially with the left fingers. Try to inch them forward a little bit more. Pull in, hip back. Engage your core a bit, walk your fingers back through center and then off to the left side. Pull the right hip back, reach, reach, reach out through the right fingers. Engage your core and walk back through to center. We're going to reach forward into just a very gentle puppy pose. So it doesn't have to be extreme. Go no more than 70% of your ability. Maybe we just rest the forehead down. And then tenting through the fingertips, lifting up. And we're going to walk again with tented hands all the way to this tented tabletop. If it's too much for your fingers, you can lower down, but if you can maintain this tenting through the hands, then please do. You can bring your left hand a little bit more centrally underneath you. We're going to pick up the right arm, pull it back, and then we're going to thread it through. You can stay right here, or you can reach the left hand overhead and start inching it away from you, back behind you. Wherever you are, slowly starting to unravel. Come back through to this tented tabletop. Left arm reaches up. And then it threads through. Coming on to that left shoulder. And then if you want more, you can extend through the right arm. Start reaching it back behind you. Engaging to slowly unravel. Come back through just a regular tabletop here. Claw through the fingers just gently. You can rotate through the arms so that the fingers are pointing in varying directions on your mat. And then move your ankles off to one side so you can come sit on your bum. Bringing the left foot to the outside of the right hip, and then the right leg crosses up over top. Right arm comes back behind you, open through the chest here, not using this left hand yet, just using strength. Suck your belly button in towards your spine and look past your right shoulder. Again, not using the left hand yet. We're working with strength here first. And then if you want more, you can hook with the elbow, the forearm, however feels good. Twist a little bit deeper. With every inhale, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Every exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And slowly unravel. You can just sit back on your butt and switch your legs. Or if you've done the kind of loop around or your brain can handle a little bit of a puzzle if you've never done it, then join me here. But I'm just going to keep my feet exactly where they are. The only thing that's going to change about them is that I'm going to come onto the soles of the feet more. But I'm going to twist away from my top leg. So my right leg's on top, so I'm going to twist to the left. Plant my hands behind me and just swiveling on my feet, but they stay where they are. Come all the way around. And then I've got the opposite leg on top. So my right foot is out beside my left hip, and my left leg is crossed over. Left arm reaches behind and twisting, looking past the left shoulder, not using this right hand quite yet. Suck the belly button into the spine. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist. Do that again. And then you can implement this right hand. Keep working with your breath. And then slowly unravel. We're going to do a little bit more of a puzzle. Stay exactly where you are. I'm going to move a little bit closer. And I'm going to turn, I'll have to adjust this, sorry. Hi. So I'm going to sit like this so you can try to mirror. Because again, if you haven't done this before, it can be a little bit confusing. So I'm in this position that we were just in. My left leg is on top. All I'm going to do is take my 2 peace fingers with my left hand and grab my right big toe. And then same on the other side. 2 peace fingers and grab my left big toe. From here, I'm going to sit back a little bit, lift up my knees so that I can free up my feet. You can see I'm all tangled up here. So with my left leg on top, I'm going to pull it through so that my right leg can come on top. Your arm kind of gets in the way, but just kind of coming into this folded position, still holding on to the toes. And then come out of it again. So you're just switching which leg is on top. It's not too complex, but definitely trying it for the first time can feel a little bit weird. So do it a couple times. Maybe it's working for you, maybe it's not. I try to go slow, but just play around with it. Switching which leg is on top. Do it 1 or 2 more times. And again, it's just a little brain puzzle. Makes your, you can release whenever you're ready now. Makes your brain work. If you want to get smarter, one of the best ways to do it is to do physical challenges or learning new physical things. So exercising is a great way to get smarter. I'm not just making that up, that's factual. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. All right, next thing we're gonna do here, I wanted to do a little toe stand. So let's come on to the toes. Have your blocks if your balance is off. I'll show with them. So I've got them on the highest setting. When we're in our toe stand, we want to try to pull our knees down so that they're parallel with the mat. So if your knees are really high up, pull them down, pull them down. You can keep the hands on the blocks, or you can test your balance maybe on your blocks. You can maybe just pick up 1 arm and bring it straight ahead. So we're trying to make a box shape with our torso, arms, and legs. If you can steady your gaze and slowly, gently pick up the other arm, just hanging out here. Focused. Feel your feet working to keep you balanced, those little muscles in your shins, ankles, and feet. Slowly release the arms if they were up. I'm just going to move them a bit out of the way here. We're just going to come into a little toe stand twist. So actually maybe, again, if you need help with balance, maybe keep a block just a little bit further back. I'm taking my left elbow first, hooking it onto the outside of my right knee. Really pull everything out of the way so you can twist a little bit deeper. And then slowly, carefully, see if you can bring the hands through to prayer. Slowly release, stay where you are. I'm just turning so that I don't turn my back to you. Set a block a little bit further back along your left side. Bring your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Twist, twist, twist. Pull everything out of the way. And see if you can get the hands through to prayer. If not, that's fine. You're still just hanging out. And slowly release. Gently come onto your knees. Let all those muscles in your feet and lower legs relax and breathe. We're going to gently work our way onto our bellies, into this prone position. From here, we're going to do yet another twist. So arms come out to a T. From here, we're going to bend up the left leg. You can pull your hands in to help a little bit, but we want to kind of roll onto the outside of the right hip a little bit. Bring the arms back out to a T. Pick up the left leg. Roll over, readjust if you need to. You should be on the top part of this right shoulder. So the right shoulder is really pressing down into the mat. And then we're just reaching that left leg back behind us. You can be on your right ear. I'm just turning this way so that you can hear me a little bit better. But maybe even reaching the toe back as far as you can. If it's levitating, that's fine, wherever it is. We're hanging out here. Slowly unravel. Square everything up, your hips. Bend through your right leg so your hands can be a little bit closer in. And we're going to shift, come onto the outside of the left hip. This step is important because if we keep both hips square and then we try to twist, the twist will come into the lower back, the lumbar spine, and that's not where we're striving to get the twist. We're trying to we're striving to get it up in the thoracic spine, more between like our shoulder blades. So if we twist at the hips here, I'm on the outside a little bit of my left hip, and then I extend my arms out, lift up this right leg, and reach it behind me. We're getting the twist a little bit more where we want it. Keep pushing that left shoulder down into the mat. Right hand can be tented, and just hanging out here. gonna swing our legs around and come to lay on our backs. Legs are bent, soles of the feet are in contact with the mat. Push down through the feet, especially the heels. Tuck the chin and lift the hips up. Squeeze the knees together like you've got a block, an imaginary block, or if you've got a block, you can do it for real life. And hold the block between your knees. Tuck your tailbone towards your knees, so we're just getting a little bit of that posterior pelvic tilt. Let your arms splay out to the side. Maybe remove the block if you've got one for this next part here. And from here, pushing through the feet, I'm going to take my left hand and reach it. So I'm doing another little twist here. Keep the hips up high, come back through center. So you roll out onto the shoulder a bit as you reach to opposite direction. Again, reach, reach, reach. Lift the hips up higher. And reach, other side. Slowly lower the hips. Cut the knees in towards the chest just so that we can rock ourselves up. Come back to tabletop. We're just going to do some really gentle just a little gentle flow, I'll call it. So from tabletop, let's come down onto the forearms. From here, we're going to pull through from the knees, like a little gentle chaturanga. Push up into tabletop, and then shift the hips back into child's. Lower the forearms, shift forward, chaturanga, from the knees, up and back. Keep doing that at your own pace, with your own breath. Come to meet in child's pose, and then reverse the direction. So come up into this plank from the knees position, lower down, shift back on the elbows, child's, extended arms. Coming up through tabletop, through to this modified plank, chaturanga, forearms, child's. Up and around, working with your own breath at your own pace again. Last one, ending in child, wherever you are. Let's tuck the toes and come into downward facing dog. Walk it out here. Get comfortable. Maybe you lower both heels to one side, the side body stretch, other side. Or you just keep walking it out. You can take double knee bends. You can even work through the upper body. You can do these little pulses here, where you're bringing your forehead closer to the mat and then lifting out of it. From here, Pick up the right leg, three-legged dog. Open through the hips. Shoulders stay square, just the hips are opening. And then pull your right knee in towards your chest. Push the mat away from you. Pull everything up a little bit higher. See if you can step the right foot through. If you need to use the hand to help it, that's fine. Lower down onto the back knee. Untuck the back toes. And we're just going to shift back and forth here, trying to get this front leg straight. And then lunging deep, trying to get the back leg straight. If you need some more height here, sorry, you can come out of it, get your blocks. And work here. Or if you're fine without blocks, stay exactly where you are. Just moving slowly, recognizing first thing in the morning our bodies don't usually go as deep as they do a little bit later on. It's not forcing anything. Once we're in this forward low lunge position again, hold here. Come to your lowest point and then square up the hips a little bit. So with your right leg forward, you're pulling your left hip forward and your right hip back, just to implement some stability here, some strength. Suck your belly button in towards your spine. Reach the arms up. Hands are in prayer, thumbs are crossed. Hanging out here. You can make it more of a back bend if you want, otherwise keep the gaze forward. Keep squaring up the hips to keep that strength and engagement. If you want a little bit more, you can push into the top of your back foot and see if you can pick up the knee. It won't look like much, but it should feel like a lot. Slowly lower the hands down. Frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, lift up that back knee. Let your front knee fall out to the side a little bit, giving you more space. Bring all the weight into the hands. Dome through the upper back. Engage your core and see if you can nicely pick up that right foot. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Left leg comes up, three-legged dog. Bend through the left leg, open up. Just through the hips, shoulders stay square. Pull the left knee towards your chest. Lift it up as high as you can. Push the mat away from you. See if you can step the foot through. Lower down on the back knee and tuck the back toes. Shift your weight back. Try to straighten the front leg as much as possible. Shift the weight forward. Trying to extend out through that back leg as much as possible. Shifting back. Shifting forward. One more time. And then we'll all come to meet in this low lunge. Come to your deepest point with our left leg forward. Now we're going to square up the hips. So pull the left hip back as the right hip comes forward. You'll come out of your depth a little bit. That's fine. We want the strength and stability. Lift the arms up. Cross the opposite thumb on top. You can keep your gaze straight ahead and just reach up through your fingers. Or you can slowly drop the gaze back. Engage your glutes to help with your balance here. And same thing this side. You can push through the top of your back foot and lift up that back knee. Slowly release. Tuck the back toes, lift up that back knee. Let the left knee fall out to the left side a little bit. Put all the weight into your hands. Engage your core and try to quietly pick up that foot. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Tenter your right fingers, make them weightless, so all the weight is in your left hand. See if you can pick up the right hand and reach back for the left ankle. If you can't grab it, then just keep reaching. If you can get a hold of the ankle, twist. Looking out past your left shoulder. Sorry, your left armpit. Slowly unravel, replace that right hand. Bring the weight into the right hand, tent the left fingers, make them weightless, and then reach them back for the right ankle. Again, maybe you're just reaching, or maybe you can grab and twist and look out past the right armpit. Slowly unravel. We're just gonna walk our feet to the middle of the mat. Turn so that we're along the long side and just widen our stance here. Toes are slightly turned inwards unless you suffer from sciatica. Our hands, our wrists are underneath our shoulder. I've got fists here, so you're always more than welcome to do flat hands, tented on the fingertips, or fists. It's just nice to have variations because it can get to be a lot if we're always doing flat palm. From here, growing out longer out to the crown of the head. And then exhaling, folding. Putting all of the weight in the balls of your feet. Your heels should barely be touching the mat. Looking down at the mat between your feet. Seeing if you can get your forearms down. If you're really far away, you can widen your stance to get a little bit deeper, but that depends on the flexibility in the legs as well. So just play around with widening and narrowing and see what feels best. But we're hanging out here. Keep the weight forward in the balls of the feet. This is going to get the hips higher so that you fold deeper. Do whatever you like with the hands. I'm not really cueing much with them. So place them where it feels good. Come up part of the way. Heel to your feet in just a little. Actually, let's come in so they're a little bit wider than hip distance. We're going to lower the hips down for a deep yogic squat, Malasana. You can keep the hands down or bring them up through prayer. Take a little movement here. You can extend out through one arm and then the other, or just find stillness. We're going to do another round of forward fold. If your head is really close to the mat, strive to get it all the way down, and there will be a progression. So, of course, by no means do you have to play around with the progression. You can hang out in the forward fold. But if you want to try it, then go ahead and try it with me. Or even just bear it in mind as a goal to eventually work towards. So lifting the hips up, palms are planted, heel toe the feet wide. And maybe you go a little bit wider so you can fold a little bit deeper. But if your head came down pretty easily, don't necessarily go wider. So we're going to lower down to the forearms. If you're working with the progression, if you're just hanging out, then just hang out wherever you are. Measure out the distance of your elbows with the hands, so they should be no wider than the hands should reach the opposite elbow, is what I'm trying to say there. Interlock all 10 fingers. Have your pinky in front of the other pinky. And then we're going to bring our head into our hand, tucking the chin so we're on the top of the head, protecting the neck. And all you're going to do is come up high on the toes, let some weight come into your head. Maybe you pull your elbows a little bit more in between your feet. Tuck your head in again. Stay there. I'm just worried it's hard to hear me with my voice going the other way, so I'm going to turn this way. So again, our head is pressing into our hands. We're on the top of our head. So the chin is slightly tucked to protect the neck. Pushing the head into the hands. We're just coming up onto the toes and lower down. If you know what we're working towards and you can do it, then go ahead and do it. Otherwise, this is all we're doing for now. Really push down through the elbows as you come up on the toes. And again, play around. Maybe your elbows, you shifted them too far back. Maybe you like it. It feels a little more safe if your elbows aren't as in between your feet. Lifting up. Next time you come onto the toes, see if you can push with the elbows and get the toes to hover a bit. Pushing the head into the hands, pushing the elbows down. See if you can get the toes to levitate. Maybe it feels really heavy and they're not lifting up. That's fine. Pushing, you're building up that strength. Lower down. Take a break if you need to. Otherwise, stick with it. If you're getting that levitation, push, 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 and see if you can even just come up to the straddle. If you don't come up too high, then there's not as much of a fear of tipping backwards, if that is a fear. Just keeping the feet here in front of you, then there's no weight behind you. If it's really stable in your practice, you can start bringing the feet up and together. Again, if you're still in the forward fold, then beautiful, hang out there. Wherever you are. Coming back down. Forward fold. And then come out of it. And we're just going to walk our hands to the top of the mat. Come down onto the knees. Child's resting pose. Give yourself that forehead massage here. Especially if you're playing around the headstand. Let's shift forward again. And we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So the hips are down. We're tucking the tailbone down towards the heels. You can have slight engagement in the glutes if that feels good. Our elbows are underneath our shoulders. And then we're just going to pull our chest through. So again, you don't see a big movement, but we're pulling the chest through. Lift up a little bit higher. Keep pulling the chest through. You can squeeze the thighs a little bit closer in towards one another. I'm looking straight ahead here. Push the shoulders a little bit further away from the ears. And then slowly relax, letting the elbows splay out. You can rest your head on your forearms, and we're just going to do a little leg lifts here. Both hip bones stay in contact with the mat, so it's just a small movement. You're using the right glute, the right hamstring. Move slowly. going with this one side. And hold it at the top for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release it down. Relax that leg. Engage through the left leg. Start lifting it. Again, both hips stay glued to the mat. Really engaging the muscles along the left side there, the glute, the hamstring especially. You might feel it in your calf as well. Maybe moving a little bit slower than you want to. Keep going with this side. For a lot of us, our left side is our weaker side since the right is typically predominant. So we're going a little bit longer, potential imbalances. Let's hold at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep holding. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower it down. Bring the hands to either side of the chest. Lift up, pushing back. Grab your blocks if you got them. We're going to work our splits. And again, it's early morning, so don't expect too much of yourself. Maybe the blocks will be too low, but if the blocks do help, we're going to do right leg first. So you can stack both blocks on top of one another to start. And I come into this 90-90 position over top of them. And you can just hang out. If this is all that your body can do right now, just with the straight leg, maybe you don't even need the blocks there, then this is where you're hanging out. If you can go a little bit deeper with your split, and you feel ready for it, you can inch that front leg forward and use the blocks under this top, this front thigh as support. See if you can come upright and balance. If not, just keep the hands down. But wherever we are, squaring up the hips a little bit, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. You can play around with different things. You're going to flex through the front foot, point it. Maybe you tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and lower it. Or you're more than welcome to just find stillness. Again, we're hanging out here for a while, so if you come to a point where you're too deep, use your strength and calmness to come out of it a little bit. If we panic in any poses and come out of them forcefully and quickly, our bodies and minds associate that with danger. And remember, the pose is a dangerous pose. We want to assure the body and the mind that we're keeping them safe. If you're feeling like you're opening up and you think you can do more, well, I'll start with, if you want to stay exactly where you are, then stay exactly where you are. If you want a little bit more, maybe you've got the blocks, maybe you can move one out. Go a little bit deeper, go slow. See if it's too much. No harm in trying and going back to where you were. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders, any other areas of tension. Keep squaring up the hips. And just as we slowly work our way into it, we're going to slowly work our way out. Bring the strength into the hands. Come out a third of the way, even if it's not pretty. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Come out another third of the way. So maybe we're in more of a 90-90 position. Breathe. Exhale. Slowly, gently come back through to more of a tabletop position. Get set up for the other side. Again, maybe you don't need the blocks there. We're going to step the left foot forward into this 90-90. Start by just extending through the left leg, flexing through the foot, and maybe this is enough. Otherwise, doing as you did on the other side. Get set up, take it slow. See if you can come a little more upright. Wherever you are, square up your hips. So pull the left hip back, right hip forward. And maybe you play around with a little bit of that movement in the front foot, the front ankle. And maybe you hinge a little bit to tuck the back toes, lift up that knee, just to feel it. See if it feels good. And then maybe finding some stillness. Keep squaring up the hips. Again, you can stay exactly where you are, or if you went a little bit deeper on the other side, maybe this side's feeling open too. Readjusting if you like, or maybe just trying it and then going back to where you were. Plant the hands down, bring the weight into the hands as you come out a third of the way. Again, it might not be pretty, that's fine. Breathe here, inhale. Exhale. Come out another third of the way, inhale. Exhale. Work the leg all the way back. We're going to come to lay on our backs. Legs extended up into the air. We're just going to do a little bit more adductor strength and then finish off with a wide leg forward fold. So from here, all we're doing is letting the ankles sway apart and then pulling them back together, a little cross-cross with the ankles at the top. Open them, cross-cross, press the lower back into the mat. If your legs are bent, depending on your hamstring flexibility, that's totally fine. but taking momentum out of the equation here. Not letting gravity do the work on the descent either. Resisting gravity here and pulling together here. One of my favorite cues is it's like we're moving through molasses. So you're pushing through the thick molasses here, you're pushing back through the thick molasses again. And even just visualizing that brings a little bit more resistance. So you're just making your movement that much more efficient. You're just gaining that much more benefit from it. So push through that thick, sticky molasses. Push, push, push. Keep going. I'm gonna do 5 more of these. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the knees into the chest. Just gently rock yourself up to seated. Get set up for your wide leg straddle stretch. Only bring the feet so wide that you can sit upright. If you're sitting back and you can't get up, bring the ankles closer together. We want to work towards an anterior pelvic tilt. So again, that's just what we're striving for. So our pelvis is tipping forward. Once you've got your feet set up, start reaching forward. Again, if you've got blocks, maybe you've got pillows nearby or something. Just to support, you can make this a little more restorative feeling. But reach forward, see if you can get set up in a supportive manner with whatever you've got, bolsters, pillows, blankets, blocks. And once you're at your lowest point, work with your breath. You're going to inhale to extend out through the crown of the head, maybe coming out of the stretch a little bit. Exhale, fold even just a millimeter deeper. Keep working with your breath. Feet are pointed or flexed. Trying to keep the spine in a relatively straight line here. So it might feel like you don't go down as low, that's fine. Keep working with your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. We'll be here a while. Take it slow. Come out a little ways if you need to, but stay in the pose. See if you can adjust to let yourself get a little bit deeper. Wherever you are, come out of it a little bit. Walk your hands over towards the right leg. You can have your right arm down for support and then just reach your left arm overhead. Walk your way around through center to the other side. And then reach overhead with the right arm. Come back up. Take a breath here first. Bring the arms back behind you. Sitting back and just gently, slowly, no rush, inching your feet back in towards one another. Come to lay on your back. Here you're welcome to take any final pose if you're liking. If you want to keep up with all the twisting we did today, then you can do a supine spinal twist, maybe both legs bent, maybe one extended and one bent. You can do a supine butterfly to carry on to the straddle stretch we just did. Happy baby. If you want to work more into the hamstrings, to build onto the splits that we did, and you can have one leg up, pulling it towards you. A lot of options, so just do what feels good for you. If you're doing one side, I'll let you know when to switch to the other. Switching up sides if you're doing a per side movement. You can start closing out the eyes here. Visualize pulling as much fresh oxygen into your lungs as possible. Visualize your heart working to pump all that fresh oxygenated blood all throughout your body. All the way down to the ends of your fingers, the ends of your toes, and to the top of your head. Whatever pose you're in, slowly release, getting set up for your final Shavasana. However is comfortable for you, straight legs, straight arms, bent arms. Letting your body completely relax. Allowing it to melt down into your mat with every exhale. And in your mind's eye, re-visualizing, refocusing in on that someone or something that you were grateful for at the beginning of class. Envision it in as much detail as possible. Keep breathing your love and gratitude in towards it. with the next exhale, letting it go. Gently wiggling through your fingers and toes. Extending out through the arms and the legs, taking a big good morning stretch. Rolling onto your side into a fetal position just for a moment. And then pushing our way up into a seated position of our choice. Resting the wrists on the knees, palms facing up, point your fingers and thumbs gently touch. We're going to take a deep inhale through the nose here and hold it at the top. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And slowly let it all go. We'll do one more of those. Inhale. Take in one more gulp of air. Hold it. Keep holding. Keep holding if you can. And slowly exhale. Bringing the hands through to heart center. And in closing, we say, Namaste.